Hey guys! My hair is wet because I just took a shower. So that's why it looks all gross and weird, but gotta keep taking showers during quarantine, right? So, hey! How are you doing? I'm Christine. I'm owner and content creator of bloomingbrilliant.net, where I share educational resources, parenting advice, and of course, information about homeschooling. I'm a homeschool mom of two. I homeschool my 10-year-old daughter and my 6-year-old son right here in Brooklyn, New York. And I love to share our homeschooling journey with you. I have been posting getting started homeschooling videos, and I'm trying to get 2 videos up a week for you guys, and we are really trying to get into it in our group. I want all the questions. I want you to have conversations about these videos and these topics that we are discussing. Sorry, that bothered me a little bit, but now I don't know if it still looks weird, but anyway. And so if you're not already in our group and you're a homeschooler, then join us there. It's called Blooming Brilliant Homeschooling Hub, and it's on Facebook. You can just Facebook search Blooming Brilliant Homeschoolers and you'll find us, and you'll be able to join. Just answer a few questions so I know you're not a spammer, and then I'll be able to let you all in and you can ask your questions. We can get into these topics and everything. So my last video, I talked a little bit about choosing curriculum, and I told you to focus on, I believe, 3 things in order to choose the right curriculum or be on the right road to choosing the right curriculum. And I'm just gonna quickly refresh what we were talking about. And you should always, of course, check out that video so that way you can see more in depth what I talked about. So in order to choose the right curriculum for your children and for your homeschool, it's important to focus on these 3 things. And it is to first put your child first. So what are their needs? What are their interests? What are they, how do they learn best? Then go into putting yourself as a priority. How does this curriculum work for for you as a teacher? How does, how much time do you have? How is this going to, how much are you going to invest in actually spending the time figuring out the curriculum so that way you could teach it, and also doing the lessons and all that kind of stuff. And if you need extra support, do you have it from this curriculum? Kind of like that. And then the last thing is to focus on your situation. So what is your homeschool curriculum budget? Do you have multiple kids? Are you going to have to get different curriculum for each of them? Or does that mean that's going to be more on your time having to figure out each curriculum? Or is there a way that you can choose one and it could work for everyone, even though they're at different levels and such like that? So those are just some of the things we talked about in the last video. And today we're going to continue on our road to choosing the right curriculum, or how to even get started with it. And let's just jump in. So one thing that's really important when you're choosing the right curriculum is to not only have those things in mind. Once you've figured out that stuff, it's also really important to keep in mind, the content of the curriculum. So if you have a 3rd grader, you want to make sure that the curriculum you choose is for about the 3rd grade level, or whatever they are, learning at that age or that level, because that's what you're focused on when the testing comes and everything. And so, you're going to want to make sure that they're kind of on level. Now, why I'm flustered is because there is gray space as a homeschooler. We have my daughter took time and stepped away from math because she was having difficulty, and taking a step away from math was not, we're not doing math anymore. It was, we're going back to the basics, and we're going to get it to where we got it so good that when we move on to the next and the next and the next, it's going to be so easy that we're not going to have that struggle. And so far, it has really worked out well. I mean, there was resistance at time and stuff, but it worked out well. So keep that in mind when you're choosing a level. You look at your child's grade, you look at their age, you look at their skill level, and you want to make sure that the curriculum you choose has the content to meet those needs. So it's not just the grade level, it is also their skill level. It's also their age level. What's appropriate for them to be learning at this age, or and again, at their skill level. If they're advanced, then you're going to want things that are a little bit more advanced. If they're, struggling with something, then it is fine to go back and do something. There is no problem with that. So focusing on the content is really important. Looking into the curriculum, whether it is through video, whether it is online on their website, whether it is, hearing other people speak about the curriculum, being able to see a glimpse of it online or in person, whatever it is, and seeing the content and what is being covered for that book or for that, program is really important when planning your homeschool, when choosing a curriculum. So I hope that helped. And I hope it made sense to you. Like, okay, no, 3rd grade, I'm going to get 3rd grade level, curriculum across the board. Okay. But if your child is, has different skills, then you'll need to cater to that. So we go back to what we talked about last time, which is what's best for your child, focusing on your child, because your child is unique and special and needs to be catered to in order to learn on all those levels. So the next thing that we should be focusing on when choosing curriculum is the approach. Now, if you're a new homeschooler and you're just trying to figure out all of these things, which most likely you are because this is the Getting Started Homeschooling series, you're probably like, okay, well, I'm just trying to do this thing. I'm not really what do you mean by approach? Well, as you stay longer in this sea of homeschool, you'll start realizing that there are different approaches and philosophies when it comes to homeschooling. And depending on how your child learns, and depending on how you like to teach, and how you like your homeschool to run, you will start adopting these philosophies, these principles from these different homeschool, approaches and philosophies, and start implementing them in your homeschool. And you will either become like, oh, I'm going to do this, go right for it and be like, I'm going to follow this approach to the T. And then you're going to see that it's going to kind of morph into you like little things from here and there. And everything is fine with that. Whatever you choose to do, it all works out. So seeing how your children learn, seeing how you like to teach, seeing how you like your homeschool to run is really important in choosing curriculum, because you want to know, or you want to have a curriculum that follows the approach that you have for your homeschool. Now, I said a lot of words there, and it could get confusing, because even for me, I'm like, okay, just cut to the chase. If you are a Charlotte Mason type homeschooler, this is copy work, dictation, nature study. I'm trying to think of other things that Charlotte Mason, living books and things like that. You're going to want to follow that kind of approach in your other curriculum as well. Maybe, if that's what works best for you. If you are more of, I want to, you want to know the approach. Does your child, feel more accomplished or understand more if there are textbooks and workbooks like a traditional school? Do they work better with an online program where they don't have to write too much, but they can still do things, by hand? They can do hands-on activities, but they can also just get their schoolwork done on a laptop. Do they work better in a co-op kind of thing where there's with other kids and they're learning from teachers or parents occasionally? You got to figure out for each subject what works best. Do they work better, seeing things and doing videos? So make sure that the curriculum has a video based in it. You kind of need to know what approach the curriculum is, and if it matches the approach that your child learns best from, and works best for your homeschool. So I hope that all those words made sense to you. That's the second thing today that we're going to focus on when choosing curriculum, is the approach of the curriculum and how it matches your homeschool and how your children learn and how you teach. Okay? That was just like a little synopsis of all that talking. And then the next thing that we are focusing on is the delivery of the curriculum. Now, we're not talking about whether the curriculum comes through UPS, USPS, FedEx, or, LaserShip. That's what we have here in New York. We're not talking about that. We're talking about how it is kind of goes in with the approach, how the curriculum, comes to you. Is it, textbook and workbook? Is it online? Is it, video based? When you're looking at the approach of how they're teaching, whether it is through like a Charlotte Mason philosophy or a Waldorf philosophy or Montessori philosophy, whatever that approach is and how it matches with your homeschool. Also, the delivery, which I kind of mentioned in the approach, is it going to be delivered through textbook and workbook, like a traditional school kind of thing? Is it through video? Is it through an online program? How is it being delivered? And how does that work with your approach? How does that work with your child? How does that work all together? So choosing curriculum can be difficult and exhausting, but it doesn't have to be. I say if you're in the deschooling process or if you're just trying to figure it out for the year, you can't really go wrong focusing on how your child learns best, what their needs are, and what works for you as the homeschool provider. Do some research, look around, I'll try to give you guys some tips on where to find curriculum, but that's the main thing. Just focusing on your child and on how you are going to run your homeschool. That's the first step to choosing the right curriculum. And then slowly go through subject by subject and how you can match it and how you can condense it so it's not so overwhelming, because there are ways to do that as well. So I hope this video helps you. If you have any questions, as always, put them in the comments below or on the side wherever you're watching this. If you're not already part of our homeschool group, then please join us over on Facebook. We will love to have you. We're pretty open to having anybody who is a homeschooler and looking for, support and encouragement, a place to vent and, have that support system. And if you want more information like this, check out our book. Description area will have a link to where you can purchase it. It's an ebook. It's about $5, and it's called Yes, You Can Homeschool: What You Need to Know to get started teaching your children from home. And I hope you could check it out, and I hope it helps you. And I'm working on another book for you guys for Strictly here in New York. And yeah, I'm gonna go, and I'll see you guys soon with another video.